When Optical first uploaded his Levelution rant, I did not think it would catch on at all, so I just dismissed it, but apparently there's a bunch of people who agree with Optical's sentiment, and a lot of discussion has come from it. So here I am to give my 2 cents on the issue. First, let's just quickly take a look at what Levelution is exactly. So if you read the rant on the Levelution video, Optical says that good levels are becoming more and more rare in this game, which I don't think is true, but whatever, let's just continue under the assumption that it is true. He blames this on the community because standards have gotten too high, which I don't think is true either, but again, let's just continue under the assumption that it is for now. So, naturally, the solution to this is to collectively lower our standards. Basically, what Optical is suggesting here is that we put quantity before quality. And before you try to tell me that he is not doing that, allow me to read the next paragraph for you. Lowering the standards might seem like a bad idea, but it has a couple of advantages. More levels. Getting more levels may not seem like the best of ideas, but I think the more, the merrier. This is literally putting quantity before quality, no matter which way you slice it. If you want to argue that quantity is more important than quality, that's fine, but you gotta own up to it, alright? Anyway, let's continue. You would once again be able to only follow a few creators instead of everyone. And I don't really see the upsides of playing levels made only by a few creators, especially considering Levelution is supposed to be more inclusive and not less. In my opinion, playing levels by a wide variety of creators is much more interesting and engaging. His next point is about lag issues that large-scale projects often have. This issue could probably make for an entire video on its own, but let me just briefly address it here. It's no secret that Geometry Dash is a horribly optimized game, which wasn't a problem back when it was first released, because most levels only had a couple hundred objects. Nowadays, levels have tens of thousands of objects, which can lag out some low-end devices. In my opinion, it is up to RobTop to fix this and optimize his game. If a level goes over the object limit, then yeah, in that case it is the creator's fault if it lags. But other than that, there's really no excuse, since RobTop allows you to create levels with up to 40,000 objects before a warning message even appears. Also, Optical just asserts here that low detail mode is not the solution, but it's actually a useful feature that effectively combats the lag problem, so next time you assert something like this out of the blue, Optical, please explain why it's not the solution. Moving on to his next point. More activity in the creating community. Lowering the standards would mean more people would take on creating and we would see a boost in the talent mass. But would it though? I don't think lowering our standards would increase overall creating talent at all. Rather, it would just decrease the expectations of what is considered talented. You know, it's true that learning to create good levels is hard. I know that firsthand. But I don't think that's a problem at all. It's not supposed to be easy to create an impressive and memorable level, because if it was, that would instantly make it neither impressive or memorable. I don't really understand what Optical means by everybody would stand a chance, because that's already the case. Anyone can make an awesome level if they put their mind to it. It just takes dedication and creativity. Focus on now. Recently there has been a migration towards older updates, especially 1.9, but also a host of 1.0 themed levels. I think this is a natural reaction towards wanting to build something that isn't so complicated all the time. I don't really see the correlation here. How would Levelution contribute to more up-to-date levels exactly? You said yourself that these 1.9 and 1.0 themed levels are a result of wanting to build something that isn't too complicated, and Levelution is the same way in that sense, so if anything, it would lead to more 1.9 and 1.0 styled levels, not less. Better gameplay. The bigger the project, the more objects and cluttered design, and this might eventually lead to worse gameplay. Well, if you're a bad creator maybe. This is what happened with a fix, and I hate that I had to compromise the gameplay for a splendid design. You're saying this like it was a necessary evil to compromise gameplay, but there's loads of levels that prove that good design does not have to come at the cost of your gameplay. If you notice your level has shitty gameplay when you playtest it, there's always a way to fix it. And if you're adding decoration at the cost of gameplay, you should really reconsider adding it in the first place, or rethink the way you're going to add it. It's not hard to create a basic functional gameplay, but even simple levels fuck it up all the time. More solo levels. Good creators have been making less and less solo levels these days, because they are too big projects. Instead, they're drawn towards participating in mega collabs where they can make shorter parts. I understand this, but I'd rather see smaller solo projects. Okay. I don't really see the problem with people participating in mega collabs if it means more high quality levels will come from it. Mega collabs are a relatively fast way to produce high quality levels, so I really don't see why you would have a problem with them. What value do solo levels have over mega collabs? No more generic. Getting more creators to create more levels would make for more unique levels, as good creators can put out more quirky levels and cool side projects. How does this work exactly? I mean, the levels you've made so far are kinda samey and boring, and there isn't really anything unique about them other than that buggy new game mode you made. Honestly, generic levels fit perfectly in the Levelution mindset, so it's kinda weird you would even mention them in a negative light. Anyway, it's totally fine if you want to create the way you want. I have no problems with that, but don't push your personal preference on others, please. Because that's clearly what you're doing here. Not only do you ask the community to lower their expectations to accommodate to your new style, you also encourage RobTop to prefer your style over others, which he already does anyway. So that's the end of Optical's rant, but the story is not quite over yet. In the comments there's a lot of support from other creators, and they often say something along the lines of, I want to build levels for fun, but I don't want to get shit for it. Well, I'm sorry, but if you set the expectations for your levels at a certain level, you cannot expect it to go over well if you deliberately don't pursue to meet those expectations anymore. Say what you want, but in my opinion, this is just laziness. You're just capitalizing on the sweet dude effect. It's true that creating is not a job, but if you are focusing more on having fun means the quality of your levels will go down, then that's your loss, and the community doesn't have to accept that, because there are creators out there who are willing to go the extra mile and create something much better. Maybe creating levels is not the thing for you if you don't enjoy it, because there are definitely people out there who do enjoy creating large-scale projects. Besides, if you want to create levels just for the fun of it, why do you care about the reactions anyway? Speaking of reactions, since there was so much discussion in the comments, Optical decided to make a follow-up, so let's have a look at that as well. He doesn't really bring up a whole lot of new points here, but there's a couple things I do want to address. First off, Optical says here that he'd rather have creators be remembered for their names and not their levels. But I think he forgot that there are lots of creators that are instantly recognizable by their large-scale projects. LaserBlitz, Crazyman and Serpunch, for example, are all creators who have made a name for themselves by creating the best they possibly could, instead of just doing the bare minimum. Though Serpunch has been kind of bad about this recently. Creators like Izar, Distort and Adiel are not known for their impressive feats, they are known for being notoriously mediocre. If RobTop didn't favor their levels in the first place, they wouldn't even be very noteworthy at all. He says that there should still be big projects, but that only some creators should make these, and others should make simple levels. But if people are making big projects, why should we care about the small scale levels at all? It's no coincidence that most people who agree with Levelution are creators. That's because creators will benefit from a decrease in overall level quality. Imagine if all cookie manufacturers came together and decided they should collectively lower the quality of their cookies so they can produce more of them. Of course they're going to agree to that. The consumers, or the players in the case of Levelution, get the short end of the stick, so naturally they are more inclined to be opposed to it. There's a demand for good quality levels, just like there's a demand for good quality cookies, and if you can't meet or don't feel like meeting those demands, then again, that's your loss. And that's pretty much it basically. Just to clarify, I don't have anything against Optical. As far as I know, his intentions are good, but this whole idea is just really stupid. I don't think I can single-handedly change anything in this community, but if you agree with this message, please spread it amongst the community. Translate it, rewrite it, or share this video. I hope you react if you feel the same way as I do. To support this case, use the hashtag #OpticalGetYourHead-Out-of-Your-Ass. Hey there, thanks for watching my video. I made a Twitter account, so if you give a shit about that, you can follow me there.